it's your girl Nadia. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be talking about my first year of OT school. I thought I'd give you guys content about my first year and even give you guys a sneak peek of what your first year might look like. This video is for anyone who's interested in OT, for any of those students who have been accepted into OT school, or somebody who's interested in seeing what a glimpse of OT school might look like. Although I won't go over everything that happened in my first year, I will cover the highlights. So let's get started! So each school is different. My school and program in particular is by trimester. So what a trimester is that I go to school summer, fall, and spring. So basically all year round. You can find this by simply searching the program that you're interested in and typing in curriculum. So my first semester of OT school was during the summer of 2021, and this is where I took Intro to Occupational Therapy and also Anatomy. These are super foundational courses, as you can tell by the names of it. Anatomy, we needed to take this because it truly is a foundation. For example, when you're doing a treatment, you would want to know the muscles and the muscular structures that are at play while doing a treatment. Was this a super hard course? Yes. Do I recommend to study? Absolutely. Will it take up a lot of your summer and your time and energy? Yes. If you guys want tips on how to survive anatomy, that can be in a whole nother video, but comment down below. During my fall semester, it was a little bit more fun. You kind of got to see, it was still a lot of foundational courses, although we did have a couple of classes that pertain to occupational therapy. In our first class, Analysis of Human Occupation, some of the things that we got to do in this class is that we were given cases and we can create and practice with simple and inexpensive adaptations. Here's an example of a bookmarker that we made out of foam and paper clips. If you think about it, this can be used with an individual that has poor fine motor skills. We also got to play around with a marker holder, and this is for an individual who might have trouble with grip strength. Another class that we took was Functional Movement. This is where we got to practice with a whole bunch of different tools and learn different precautions. Some of the tools that we were able to practice with is a goniometer. This is what measures range of motion. And like I said earlier, we are still in the more of like the foundational part of occupational therapy school. So we did take neuroanatomy. I would say anatomy and neuroanatomy are probably like the two classes that you will ask yourself, like, do I really want to do occupational therapy? But the reason why is because you don't truly see the connection between OT, like how OT is practiced, and what you're learning in those two classes, because they're very foundational classes. And that's one thing that I recommend. Tip right here is, I'm gonna put it like right here. The thing that I want you to get out of today is your first year is foundational. Here is a video of me and my friends studying tirelessly for neuroanatomy. During our spring semester, we finally had our first pediatrics course and also our first adults course. In our adults course, we learned more about different adaptive equipment and tools that you'll probably see if you want to work in an inpatient rehab facility or an acute setting. We also learned about different precautions, and as you can see here, me and my roommate are practicing for a lab practical. We also have some guest lectures where we learn about hand occupational therapy, which you will learn that it takes a whole nother certification to be certified in hand OT. Here we're learning how to make splints, which is super cool. You'll be able to see this in the hospital setting or even outpatient. So in peds, which is my cup of tea, so if y'all don't see me in pediatrics, something went seriously wrong in OT school. In peds, we get to practice with different adaptive equipment. One of the things that I really enjoyed was the lecture about feeding. Some of our kiddos that we will end up working with might have trouble feeding, whether that's a sensory issue or a muscle issue. So in the lab, we actually get to practice with different adaptive equipment. Things like adaptive utensils, adaptive bottles, plates and bowls. We also took a trip to the Children's Museum of Richmond, where we did an activity analysis where we went to different areas of the museum and tried to figure out how we can use the museum and activities to help kids with things like coordination, initiation, execution, fine motor skills, gross motor skills, and a whole bunch of other things. And lastly, so I went over all of my 3 semesters, but you're probably asking, how did I balance everything? Well, for one, did I have a work-life balance? Yes. So me and my friends, we went out to eat. I celebrated my graduation because I graduated the year of 2020, which was still during COVID, so I had my graduation online. Although my tip for you guys is to make sure that you guys do find a balance, because your first year, it might be overwhelming, but let me be the person to tell you that everything is going to be okay. My next video is going to be tips for your first year, so stay tuned for that. We also went to the AOTA conference, and as you guys know, probably from my last video, it is a national organization for all occupational therapy practitioners, occupational therapy students, and OTAs. And it's a conference for professional development, and it's a good way to spend time with your cohort and also your friends. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video because I will be talking about tips for your first year. But yeah guys, if you guys have any questions or comments, please hit the below, and don't forget to click like and subscribe. For those of you who did click on this video, thank you. I hope that I changed your mind about OT. I hope that if you were on the fence about going into OT, I hope this video changed your mind and that you want to come onto the OT side. I also want to congratulate those students who did make it into OT school. I know the application process was definitely hard. I know that you guys saw my last video with all those interview questions. You guys prepared and everything. And like I mentioned in previous videos, I am a resource to you guys. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, please feel free to DM me on Instagram or even comment down below and I will answer all of your questions. Thanks. I will see you guys next time. Bye!